That's fine, that's fine. Now, it looks like we might be moving on to Addymestic versus Cosolix next. There's the boy. I don't see no water bottle. There's no hydration here.
He better have the hydration.
He just waved at camera. He's getting something.
He better, because...
Ah, there's his water bottle.
Yeah.
There, you know it. It's real, the hydration.
For those sitting at home who don't know, there was a fire outside that has since been put out, but the HVAC system has mostly been pumping smoke into the arena, so he needs to have that water. My throat is very dry.
Yes, I'm out of Luke-flavored lemonade.
You want some water?
No, I'm okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Appreciate it, though. There's Cosolix having a pretty good run of his own today. Sitting there, it's kind of a cool hoodie, if I'm being honest. Looked warm.
Then there's Addy with his just standard red hoodie.
Yeah, I think he's worn that at maybe...
That's for you. I already got water. I'm good.
Yeah, we have the best production
I come prepared.
Crew. The burns, man. You're throwing them at me. Throwing some shade. I'll accept it. Well, I'm going to get you back later.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. I wouldn't respect you if you didn't.
No, just watch your back. I don't know what I'll do yet. I think Addymestic has worn that hoodie at every single LAN.
Definitely.
Flat out. In fact, I don't think I've seen him wear anything but that hoodie.
Nah, he's worn T-shirts. I think. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't pay attention that much to Addy's wardrobe. I pay a little bit of attention.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. So what's the left, Sparky? The Addymestic game?
Addy Cosolix, and then
Noel.
The winner of that moves on to fight Noel.
Ooh,
so we have 2 more
right.
sets before our entire top 8 is solidified. So this isn't a top 8 qualifier, but it's a qualifier for the top 8 qualifier.
Got to qualify to qualify.
Yep. But yeah, if y'all are wondering why the crowd is looking, I don't want to say bare bones, because there's definitely some people out there, but I think the smoke is probably a big reason. We can definitely smell it in the air.
Yo, I love seeing all the smiles, though, out there. People are just having a good time.
All the diehards are out there. You can see Daiku out there. You see Slosh's hat.
You see Slosh's hat. It's really iconic,
I think Chill
actually.
Penguin is out there.
Yo, he looked up, he heard his name, he was like, what? I heard my name? Do I have to organize bracket? Or do I have to run a pool right now?
But there's Cosolix in the front.
Yeah, there he is. There he
now,
is.
now these two have fought in the past.
Yeah.
I know they have. And I think Addy got whooped. I think Addy was like really worried about it. I think it was a DreamHack Austin, and Addy got whooped.
Was it Austin?
I think it was Austin. Hold on, I'm looking. Scrolling through a spreadsheet on a phone is just, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Yeah, it was a DreamHack Austin. Addy lost to Cosolix. I think that knocked him into the loser's bracket, and then Daiku took him out of the tournament.
That's how it goes sometimes. They're getting ready. We're going to be seeing Sir Roland, Cosolix. It's what you'd expect. Standard. Val from Addymestic. They're going into this. I'm not sure if this is a button check. I think this has to be a button check. Yep, button check.
Yeah, it looks like the only time these two met was at DreamHack Austin.
I wouldn't be surprised if we went to Small Brawlhalla, though, again. But actually, after Addymestic's set up against LDZ, where they went Small Brawlhalla 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I would be getting flashbacks of that. And
maybe not a good choice.
Engage in that.
Maybe not a good choice. But we'll see. I guess we'll see in a moment. I wonder what's happening here.
Looks like we're waiting to confirm the button check.
Yup.
They're really checking those buttons.
Hey, this match counts.
It's true.
Like you said, there's no second chances, no big ones.
Kosolix, another player who's shopped around on a couple orgs. He's now settled on Global Breakout. That's what the GB in front of his name means. Meanwhile, on the other side, Addymestic, I think with an extremely local group of PHZ. I think it's a...
PHZ.
I think it's
Finnish. They're a tech company.
Yeah, they're a tech company.
That's just getting into esports and sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So they're picking up their own little hometown hero.
Coming out here, Shipwreck. Good map choice, I think.
I think Cosolix is going to get a little bit more of a benefit out of this in terms of survivability, but I think Addymestic's kill potential is going to be higher here because of those tiny, tiny side walls. I just think he has better options in terms of the edge guard. Definitely compared to Lance. Cosolix, I mean, is one of the best Lance players, but off stage, I mean, he definitely has his explosive moments, but it's not a consistent thing that he goes for. Meanwhile, Addy has a lot of off-stage options that he can use to kill and put his opponent in very unfavorable situations.
Now, I'm having a couple of flashbacks, honestly, back to, what was it? Who was it? Was it Wilson? Yeah, it was Wilson's game up against Ethan, right? Because Ethan had the gauntlets a lot of the time.
Yes. Yes.
I'm seeing the gauntlets Lance matchup all over again. Partially, I think, because Ethan did at one point play the same setup.
Yeah, he absolutely did. See, Cosolix is waiting. He's not going to overcommit off stage. He's not going to give up too much early in the game. But Addy's going to chase him into the air, hit a nair to take him off the top.
And now it's all about extension. Addy moving back, nearly gonna get KO'd from that side air from Cosolix, but there it is, the down sig comes out really fast, actually.
Yeah, he did the dash to close the gap, and then threw out that down signature, an extremely strong signature. Probably Roland's strongest in terms of it comes out really fast. It doesn't have a lot of animation like the Lance side sig does. Right. It has like the forward swipe and then the 45-degree swipe. So you're not, if you miss, you're not committing too much. You're not stuck in animation frames for a long time where your opponent can punish exactly like that. Exactly.
Coming off that recovery, gonna hit that side air on Addymestic, caught him out as he was in the recovery frames of a neutral light there. Sword coming through with the dash to the dash. Side air with the weapon toss, gets caught out by Cosolix yet again.
Is there going to be a weapon toss? I was expecting like an arcing weapon toss up to cover the wall, and then Cosolix picks up the weapon and throws like a jumping side air if Addy wants to recover high. But they're going very even so far.
Addy hanging back, looking for the engagement. Cosolix, whoa! Beautiful movement from Cosolix. Jumps just over the hitbox of that side signature from Addymestic. Although Addymestic ready with the side light into the recovery onto Cosolix. The high defensive Roland, though, giving him a little bit of extra life, extra stock here on life number 2. And that side air will most likely KO. Yes, it does. And now Cosolix has the lead on a heavy defense legend. I don't think at this point an unarmed recovery will KO.
I would agree with you on that. It would have to be really high up.
Yup. Especially on Shipwreck.
Not getting the full force of that as Cosolix falls out of that sword recovery. Big damage coming out from Cosolix. Almost has Addy in the orange at this point. The weapon toss, you're going to see he's able to charge that up so well, but Addy knows exactly where he's going to go. He knows the distance that Cosolix is going to cover with that, and he immediately punishes it with the unarmed side air for the kill.
It's one of the biggest downsides of Lance recovery is how telegraphed it is. It's an exchange for getting basically stationary movement in the air.
Yeah, you can go literally everywhere.
You can literally go everywhere.
With that move, it goes so far, but it's crazy telegraphed. Like, people get interrupted in Lance recovery all the time. He just got interrupted. It didn't lead to a kill, but he still got interrupted in that Lance recovery right there.
Now Addymestic using the left and the right, the distance across east to west on this map to give him a little bit more life. His damage is very high. He could be KO'd quite easily at this moment, but if he keeps getting knocked left to right or right to left from opposite sides of the stadium, he will live.
As the side air, Cosolix is going to take game 1. Only about 30 damage into his first stock, so a really solid lead towards the end of that game. Cosolix has got to be feeling good right now. He wants to go overall up to 2-0 against Addymestic this entire year.
Saw a little bit of an exhale there from Addymestic, running the hands through the hair, getting ready. Moving it, I mean, it was not a slam dunk for Cosolix.
Yeah, definitely not.
Interesting.
Oh, and we are actually going to small
Brawlhalla. Now, I think the reasoning being is that if you can land that ground pound with gauntlets off the edge, you're almost guaranteed a KO on this map. But the same token, a side air out from that Lance, some of those traveling moves you can do with Lance will just carry you to your doom.
Yeah, that's a big thing that I would be worried about, because Cosolix doesn't do that every time, but he is known for straight up carrying people to their death with a great like side air into the down air into a side air into another side air read.
Non-stop. Nice side air coming from Addymestic, hanging up top. Side air through, neutral air. Picks up the recovery. I mean, damage is super high across the board. Side air from Addymestic does push Cosolix back just momentarily. Ooh. Perfect interruption right there from Addymestic with that neutral air. Cosolix coming through with a great side air, though. And the down sig yet again.
Yep. Basically a mirror image. The map is a little bit different, but still the same exact style. That recovery is not going to kill. That's pretty crazy. Oh,
Cosolix,
that's what we are talking about.
It's incredible.
He almost did it again.
Almost did it again, but never mind that. The damage he's done.
Yeah. He's done now like 60 damage.
Yup, and even though he just lost that stock, he has Addymestic one good side air, one good down sig with that Lance away from losing his second stock. Coming through Addymestic on those gauntlets, Cosolix. You notice how Cosolix is always ready to move back Great slide down sig, but great punish from Addymestic to grab it and throw it down. No follow through on that. I don't know that there was a way to follow through on that. Down air coming through, building up the damage. Does not get hit by that side air. Moving back here, Cosolix approaching the side air. Does not KO Addymestic, but it is close with that damage on this map. And that recovery will KO Addymestic on his final stock here.
Now, just a small correction. We were a little bit wrong. This is a top 8 qualifier. This is not the qualifier for the qualifier to play Noel. It's going to be Noel versus Blood Diamond as the next qualifier. But this is a top 8 qualifier of Addymestic versus Cosolix.
Down air coming. Addymestic goes into that side sig, goes into the nair, but Cosolix doesn't get hit. The ground pound comes out. The second ground pound, but Cosolix does not have what he needs to recover, even though that doesn't hit. Evens up the stocks, and the damage is very close too.
We could see some explosive action coming out from Cosolix. He's looking for it.
Oh, the patience to wait for that second nair to connect from Addymestic. Coming through, Cosolix getting that side air. Neutral leg coming from Addymestic into that recovery, into the nair. Addymestic doing some crazy work right now. The nair's coming out from Cosolix. Going in, again, side sig. Addymestic nearly gets the KO there. It's so close. Side air come from Addymestic. The neutral air comes out. Recovery not quite going to happen. There. Neutral air, Addymestic with a weapon from Cosolix. Cosolix has the advantage right now. He's on the platform, going to move back, has that sword into the side. Addymestic has to recover yet again. Cosolix has that down air. I don't know that Addymestic has. He has the recovery to get the wall touch on that left side. Can he do it? I don't know. Side air recovery. Addymestic, Cosolix lives that defense, that high rolling defense, and the side air gets in. Cosolix takes game number 2.
Cosolix is now 2 up over Addymestic, and Sparky has turned to Taz. Hello, everybody. I am going to be filling in Toast. This set is insane.
It's incredible.
Addymestic is EU's last hope, and Cosolix is over here smiling like crazy. He is ready to go in.
Whoa. Did you just tell me Addymestic is EU's last hope in 1v1?
Wait, did you not know that? Oh, I guess you haven't been paying attention to the
I mean, it's been here, so I guess I should have known, but
yeah,
it didn't click in my head.
It basically is, yeah. It's very strange. EU's dominating 2s, and now over here, Addymestic is holding the line for EU and on death's door as he is down 0-2 against Cosolix.
All right, they're getting here. Back on small Brawlhalla. One more loss for Addymestic, and it's done. Addymestic's journey through Brawlhalla World Championships in the 1v1 is over. It's finished. He needs to take out Cosolix here to have a chance, and he needs to do it 3 times in a row. 3 times 3, that's 9.
And here they are on small Brawlhalla for the game number 3. Cosolix landing with that down air, finds a nice neutral light to put a little bit more damage onto Addymestic. Addymestic finds his own neutral light with the gauntlet, sends him towards the side, and now putting in that down light. He's trying to do something to Cosolix. Okay, recovery sends him up. He tries to get that side sig, but Cosolix smartly drops the lance downwards, but now they're off stage. Ground pound connects, has a fully charged recovery, but the dive kick clashes, and Cosolix makes it back. Super damage here on the roll, but the neutral stick does not snipe him. He is unarmed, but he finds a nice downlight nair, puts Addymestic off the stage, picks up the sword, but the sword's definitely not his weapon of choice, but the defense, even on small Brawlhalla. Okay, a second recovery doesn't manage to make it do it. He gets his stock taken off the top, and Addymestic has a little bit of life left in him.
Addymestic coming back here, has those gauntlets. Those gauntlets have been a weapon of choice for him. Cosolix hits that side air. Addymestic will survive, but the damage is high. One more side air from this distance, like that down sig would have killed had it connected. Cosolix moving through, throws the recovery. Has that side air, is going to get the KO. Cosolix did not take any damage on stock number 2, essentially resetting this match and keeping it dead even. No one has an advantage right now. Maybe Cosolix has the momentum lead here, but that is it. No physical in-game advantage to be had right now with damage or stocks.
Oh, but Cosolix finds the first string, sends Addymestic towards the left of the side of the stage. Now Cosolix trying to find another stair. There's that side air into neutral air, puts Addymestic to the side, but the recovery is gone. Gets hit by the stair, manages to touch the stage once again, but Addymestic is putting on even more damage to Cosolix. But he has only into the yellow. Both players here only finding combo starters and no actual combos until right there. Cosolix really going in for that down sig read. Addymestic manages to cover above, but the neutral sig pivoted, catches Addymestic's way back on the stage. Signatures are being thrown out left and right by Cosolix.
Cosolix going that down air into the recovery. Addymestic catching the punish off of the ground pound into the neutral late. There's the weapon toss into the sword pickup into the neutral air. Cosolix now in the red throws the weapon down, but will not lose. Will not get his weapon back as Addymestic's sword has been on point, but the unarmed recovery pushes Addymestic away. Spot dodge from Addymestic. Smart choice. That down air from the lance could have done a lot of damage. He gets caught out by the recovery. An errant movement up, but he'll get the down air punish on Cosolix.
He can still make it back.
The down sig, he can still make it back, and he does. He's up above. Addymestic has no weapon. Short range right now against the long range of that lance. And that side air will KO.
You can stop the Lance recovery by getting hit by it, but the downside is if you are in the red, you will die to it. That's why Addymestic couldn't risk trying to clash for that Lance recovery. Cosolix makes it back and secures the lead here in game number 3. Addymestic on tournament stock, trying to even up that recovery, but Roland's just so tanky. Finally, the signature takes it out, and this is dead even. Addymestic is fighting for his life here to be able to take it to a game number 4. Otherwise, Cosolix knocks him out of the tournament.
This is Addymestic's tournament stock.
Oh, and he is
Brawlhalla
taking a
World
beating.
Champion tournament stock. Here we go. Driller coming in, damage even. Addymestic a little back, taking a lot of damage from Cosolix at down air into the down stick, and that's it! Cosolix will advance into the top 8, knocking out EU's last chance.
EU is out of 1.
EU is out of 1v1.
It's so fascinating because there are 6 EU players in 2v2 out of the top 6 teams that are there, right? Or top 6 teams. So half the players.
Yes, in the 2v2 it's
EU.
almost
and then
entirely
over
EU.
here in ones, NA is just kind of like, okay, this is definitely our turf, which has been what everybody was theorizing. Heck, I think they were theorizing that for 2s and for 1s.
Yes,
but what was so odd was the
breakout.
breakout performance from EU in 2v2s, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. Addymestic is 3-0'd by Cosolix, and the DreamHack Austin champion makes his way into top 8 to maybe find himself another